Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about something that all of us struggle with, lack of focus. And trust me, I have been there too. If you find yourself unable to concentrate on most anything and you get distracted often, you have found yourself in the right place. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some actionable tips and tricks that are going to help you regain your focus, boost your productivity, and stay tuned because I want to help you get to the root cause on why we get so distracted in the first place. And it's not just because of the matrix of social media and the internet that we live in, although that's a big one too. Before I get into the list, I want to talk about the 4 root cause things that keep us in distraction mode, because if we don't go into these, then we're not thinking long term. And I don't know about you, but I want this to work long term. All right, number 1 is nose breathing versus mouth breathing. You're going to see that I have mentioned this in many videos if you stay tuned to my channel, and there is a video on this coming soon. However, what I want to share with you is that those individuals who breathe through their mouth tend to have a lot more anxiety. It's even been associated with ADHD and other symptoms of people just getting distracted, lack of focus. Breathe through your nose. Okay, number 2 root cause. Our number 1 distractions usually have everything to do with our thinking, where we're focusing the attention of our thoughts. Who are you blaming? What are the pet peeves that you're holding on to? Who or what are you still spending so much time in resentment about? Are you judging? Are you constantly gossiping? I believe this to be one of the biggest causes of distractions, because when we're over there in someone else's business, we're not usually taking care of our own. The 3rd root cause is really around our nervous system and our practice and ability to be regulated. You see, one of the reasons why we get so distracted is because we have been used to being in a body and a nervous system that perhaps is used to chaos. And so the distractions have become a normalized thing for us. Number 4 root cause is our diet and, of course, our nutrition. If you're starting your day with coffee and donuts or a bagel and cream cheese or those really not so good carbohydrates, packaged and processed food, a lot of sugar, energy drinks, this is your reason for being so distracted. Your mitochondria is one of the biggest keys to you keeping a deep sense of focus. Okay, let's dive in. Number 1 is to eliminate distractions. You want to create a distraction-free workspace for yourself. So you want to put the phone away, turn it off, put it in airplane mode, silent mode. Sometimes putting it in a box, closing the box far away from you, really important. They actually sell boxes, by the way, that you can put it in. They have like a timer, and then when the timer goes off, you get your phone back, but not a moment earlier. There's apps that allow you to block certain websites. You can also remove apps from your phone, which is a very powerful thing to do if you find yourself constantly going to that app like Pavlov's dog every single time you log into your phone. All right, number 2 is time blocking. You can set different specific amounts of time for the projects that you want to do. This is one of my favorite ones. I think it can be as simple as writing down how much time you think it's going to take you to do several projects. I wouldn't choose more than about 45 minutes. That's about the amount of focus time that we're capable of at the most. And then what you do is you just pick up your phone, you set a timer, and you decide and commit that no matter what happens while that timer is going, you focus on that project and you get as much as you possibly can. When the timer goes off, you let yourself get up and do your thing. There are so many apps, time management apps, time tracking apps. By the way, time is our most important commodity. It truly is. We don't get time back, right? So we really want to look at our time as our most important and valuable asset and use it as wisely as possible. Not perfectly, nothing's perfect, but wisely. Many of us don't do these large projects because we know they take up so much of our time, and we're waiting that somehow in our life we're going to have this big, huge chunk of time and we'll finally be able to get it done. It just doesn't work that way. So part of what we do with the large projects is we break them up into smaller amounts of time. We might do 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 40 minutes there, another 10 minutes here. But before you know it, this all adds up and we complete our projects. Okay, number 3 is to break your tasks into smaller chunks of time. This is kind of similar to number 2, but the difference is that these are for our tasks that need to be done that don't necessarily scream like, I'm so excited to do this task. Like, for example, some people do not like meal prep. Some people do not like planning out their calendar or doing some of those administrative tasks that they need to do. Some people avoid their numbers. Some people love their numbers when it comes to analytics or money or looking at your investments or your bank account every single day. So whatever these tasks are, what we find to be very helpful is to breaking them down into smaller chunks. One of the things that I do personally is that I spend 10 minutes every single day. I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty close to doing it every single day, on 4 to 5 tasks that really help move things ahead. So every single day I spend 10 minutes on my money, my numbers, my bank account, my investments. I look at all of that for 10 minutes. Sometimes I do more, but at a minimum, when that timer goes off, and I do set a timer, then I stop. Then I spend 10 minutes prepping some food for the day, making sure that I'm nourished. I spend 10 minutes and I go for a quick walk around the neighborhood. I spend 10 minutes and I might do something creative, read a book, something that nourishes me. Okay, number 4 is to use the 60-60-30 strategy. I'm going to put a link below this video because I don't remember who I learned this from, but I did not come up with this. But I'm going to give them credit below. The 60-60-30 strategy I learned many years ago, and it's changed my whole life. I try to do 2 or 3 60-60-30s on big focused work days. Let me explain what a 60-60-30 is. So the first 60 is 60 minutes, but you take 50 of that 60 minutes, and you set your timer on your phone, and you focus on one specific project for those 50 minutes. When the timer goes off, you take the remaining 10 minutes and you go walk around, you exercise, you dance around, you get a snack, you do whatever you want to do for those 10 minutes. Then comes the next 60. You do another round of breaking up that 60 minutes into 50 minutes and then again 10 minutes. And then your last one is 30, and the 30 minutes, you do whatever you want for 30 minutes. You relax, you read a book, you call a friend, it's not work related though. You got to give yourself a break. You have to have downtime. One of the reasons we get so distracted is because we need rest and we get exhausted mentally. So we need to make sure that we schedule rest. And that's what I like about the 60-60-30. You can do 2 sets of 60-60-30 every single day. If you did 3, you'd accomplish so much in your life. Okay, number 5 is to prioritize and to set clear goals. I actually do this in 2 ways that I'm going to share with you. One of my flaws is that I try to plan in way too many things in one day. I'll make a to-do list of 10 to 15 things, when in reality, I'm probably capable of doing maybe 4 to 6 of those at the most. Okay, the 2 ways that I do this is I have a large action item list that is really separated into projects and personal life, family life, big goals, very specific project-focused goals that are in my business, like a book or YouTube or all kinds of other things. Now, what I do is from that big, huge list, I take the priorities for each day. And personally, this works for me because I like to write. I have a big written calendar, and I also use one of these if you can see it, but it's basically just a daily calendar. I write down what I'm going to focus on for the day. But my trick is that at the end of the day, when I'm wrapping up everything and I'm ready to shut down for the day, I go through everything that I accomplished. I check it off. I write down what I'm going to do the following day. I'm very specific on the projects, the goals that I have, what I want to accomplish. And that way, when I wake up in the morning, I am ready to go. I already have what I'm going to focus on, and I don't have to waste any time trying to figure that stuff out. Okay, the next one, number 6, is to practice mindfulness techniques. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that when I say this is like, oh, okay, I'm going to do my meditation in the morning, which is good, by the way. Do that if you can, or do your yoga in the morning. Do that if you can. But what I'm speaking more deeply into is mindfulness while you are engaging in your projects, your work, even your workout. You want to focus more specifically on your breathing. If you have been spending a lot of time sitting at your computer, which is a big common one, how is your posture? How is your head? Are you looking down constantly? Because that's going to just totally wreck your neck, hurt your jaw, give you headaches, hurt your shoulders, your posture. Not to mention, if you're feeling like that, who's not going to be distracted? So part of mindfulness is being mindful of the sensations and the way in which you hold your body, the way you breathe your body while you're engaging in your practices, your projects, and the things that you do throughout the day. At the very minimum, get up every hour. Your body was never meant to sit or be in one place for so long. I personally love my standing desk. I think it's so helpful because when I stand up, I tend to get very focused because I don't want to stand all day. I personally work from home, but wherever you work, take breaks, walk around the block, walk around the building, do a little dance break. If you can, do a little stretching, stretch in your chair, which is really easy to do. Whatever you got to do, honor your body, because the more you honor your body, the more you're going to have the resiliency to keep going during the times when you need to focus. Number 7 is to manage your energy levels. Now, everybody's completely different with this, but a lot of people hit like a peak energy time at a certain time of day, and a lot of people have like we crash. And so what you want to do is you want to do your best to plan the big projects and the things you really need to focus on earlier in the day when you have the most energy, if that's the case for you. Maybe you have less energy earlier in the day and you're more focused later. I used to be one of those people who worked very diligently late at night. But I found that eventually wrecked my adrenal glands, and I really hurt my sleep, I hurt my body, and that was not sustainable long term for me as an entrepreneur. So it took me years to change that, to heal my sleep. And now I've completely switched. I am much more focused early in the morning. This is when I want to do my big projects. And then there's other days where early in the morning, I don't want anything to do with work. This is my time. I'm totally chill. I don't want to be bothered, and I need to fill my cup, so to speak. So find what works for you. It might change every day, and I want to give you full permission, not that you even need my permission, to allow yourself to have a structure, but with a lot of flexibility. We all need structure, but it doesn't mean we can't change it from time to time. It doesn't mean we can't build a structure into a schedule that allows us to be open and free and a lot more independent with our time. This brings me to number 8, establish a routine. Now, just saying this is kind of a shocker because I used to rebel against routine. Then I went the other direction and I tried to have a very strict and rigid routine. That didn't work for me either. Now, for some people it does. Some people need to have the same schedule. They eat the same thing. They do the same workout every single morning, and it works fantastic for them. That's awesome. Keep doing it. What I have found to be the case, though, is for me, it's a little combination of both. I have a routine. I do a certain amount of workouts every single week. I take regular walks. I get up on a regular basis. I plan my meals. I eat pretty consistently. If I don't eat and I don't take care of myself, I get very distracted when I'm hungry, when I'm thirsty. So there's certain routines that I have in my schedule that have to be there. My amazing team manager and assistant, her name's Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. She manages my calendar so much better than I could ever manage my calendar. Of course, I give her input and direction, but what helps me is to have certain things blocked off into my calendar that I know are going to keep me in my routine. When I see it in the calendar, I show up and I do it. There's a certain amount of time that I see clients, a certain amount of time that I have downtime. I have a routine where I take every other Friday off. These are important to have in our schedule. The routine keeps us focused. So wherever you are, don't beat yourself up if you get distracted. That makes you a human being. But if you do notice that you get distracted a lot, there's so many things that we can be doing. Remember those root causes that I talked to you about: our breathing, our diet, nervous system regulation tools, and of course, managing your thinking. Many of us are so focused on resenting other people, comparing, despairing, or getting lost in the minutia of other people's business that we don't realize how much time we're taking away from focusing on our own business and what we are here to do. And I want to help you focus on what you're here to do in this lifetime. We need you. We need you showing up for your unique purpose. Everyone approaches productivity and focus differently, but remember, time is your most important asset. Use it wisely. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Oh, and make sure you subscribe. We do put out a video every single week, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.